Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dee. I'm with DJ Designs, and today I'm going to show you something I've been wanting to do. These are hand painted earrings. I have done some research and I want to get really more into hand painted earrings. And these are some of the designs that I've made that I'm going to show you how to do with the hand painted earrings. This has texture in it and it gives a nice three-dimensional look. And this is hand painted, and I also use some products that we'll talk about in this tutorial. And I did use what they call triple thick, and I did my motifs after I put the triple thick because I find it bleeds if you put it on before. So anyway, stay tuned. Okay, let's see, we got our two samples cut. And I'm using an X tool, M1X tool, and I'll put the settings in the description. It cuts the 6mm birchwood perfectly. Okay, these are the items that you're going to need to complete this project. And triple thick. I got this in Hobby Lobby. And I use black satin folk art. And it's satin pure black. And you're going to need some kind of paint pen. I use these Chalktastic markers, and I really like them because the colors are very bright and vivid. You're going to need, of course, you're going to need your paintbrush. And this is a sample of the markers. I was playing around. Look how vivid those colors are. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we want to paint the items black. And I'm just using black acrylic paint. It's fine. And I usually use a little stick to hold it so I don't get my fingers dirty. And we're just going to paint it all black. This black satin, you only need one coat with this paint because we're going to do coats of the triple thick. Okay. All right, I'll be back when I get these painted. Okay, I have both sides of my designs painted in black, and we're going to work with the lady first. So we'll put this to the side. And this is 6mm basswood plywood. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I use 6mm. You certainly can use 3mm if you'd like. And also I forgot to mention that you need this Ranger Distress Grit paste. And it's like a textured paste. And I usually paint with it. It does give texture. So we're going to put this on the turban. Okay. So I'm going to open it up. And how I apply it, I use a scoop, little mini scoop, but you can use a toothpick or whatever you can, and just apply it around the area that you want this texture. Okay. And I'm going to add a piece of masking tape. Okay, I added a piece of masking tape because I don't want the texture paste to be over the area of her face, just the turban, just to give it a raised effect. And just spread that as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's grit, okay? And that masking tape, well, I learned the hard way, really does stop it from going to the area where you're going to be just using paint, okay? And just spread that as much as you can. And I like this method because it doesn't waste. You only use what you need with the method that I'm using instead of pre-mixing the paste and then adding the color to it. There's waste or leftover with that. Okay. And just that just looks like it's good enough. Let me go over this one a little bit more. Look like some spaces I missed. And just Spread that out as best you can because you're going to be using a brush to get it smoothly when you're adding your color. Okay. All right. Let me put the cover on that because I don't want this to dry out. Just a little more. Oops. A little more on this side. Just want to make sure I have enough, although I am going to be spreading this out, so make it even. Okay. All right, I'm going to put the cover on this so it doesn't dry out. And the color I chose today for the turban, it's a metallic paint by Deco Art. And it's Rich Espresso. This is one of my favorite colors I like to use. In one of my other videos, I told you that I had bought this color by mistake, and it wound up being my favorite color. Okay. All right. So basically, all we're going to do is use the color. I put some in a little area there, and just kind of mix it around. Ooh, that's looking nice. And dot it and dab it. Until you got this spread out. And just, just mix it. This is a better way. You don't waste the grit paste when you do it this way, because when you do a pre-mix, you have leftover. Okay? And just get that best you can. And you're going to need some kind of wood stick or something that has a sharp object, because I'll show you what you're going to do to get the excess. And I'm only doing one. And then I'll do the other one off camera. Okay? And see how the masking tape is preventing it from going to the other side. And what I like to do with this design is just, have a little imprint of the design. I believe that goes that way, and this goes this way. Or actually, it goes this way. Have to look at the original design. Okay. All right, I'll touch this up just a little more. And then I will get the other one done. That's looking good. Okay. Okay, I got this all done, and that's looking good. We're going to let this dry, and then we're going to do another coat of paint. But in the meantime, we can go start on our cowrie shell earrings. And we're going to make sure we have one facing the other way. Okay, the next step on this one, we're not going to use the grit paste for that. We're going to use the triple thick. And I use the one in a jar, although I did order the one in a bottle. They say it's easy to pour on. It's more convenient. But basically, you're going to just put a generous coating of triple thick on your cowrie shell or whatever design you're going to use. And these designs are going to be available on, there's a link in the description. There'll be a link in the description for everything that I'm using as well. That grit paste, I discovered that it has distress because it has like glitter and different textures. And I do like that. And you'll see the difference when we finish. You can see some sparkle. I really like this texture paint. So just do a generous amount of triple thick. And this is a product I'm just learning how to use as well. I did a lot of research to see what would be best when doing hand-painted earrings. And this one came up, and the triple thick, they either have a love or a hate relationship with it. So this is new to me. Okay, that looks like it's a generous coat on it. And you got to work quick because this does dry, and you don't want to want it to be streaky. Okay. like I got some kind of debris on there. Want to get that off before it shows up on my designs. Put a little more. I can see already it's drying already. So, and it does look cloudy, but it does dry clear. And you have to kind of be even and make sure you have a generous amount. This prevents the streakiness in it. I learned that as well. Okay. All right, we're going to let this dry as well, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, this is dry, and we're going to put one more coating of the paint on the grit paste. Okay, this will give it a nice finish and cover up any areas that didn't get the paint color. It's just looking really nice. You can use any color. I just chose this color, but you could use any color like silver, copper, any color you'd like. Okay. All right. It's looking good. Okay, at this point, we probably can take off the masking tape. And as you can see, it did a good job from going to the area where I didn't want the grit texture. Okay. All right, we're gonna let that dry and we're gonna put a coat of triple thick. And I did get the small bottle. I was told the small bottle is better to use, and you can refill this. So we're gonna let this dry and then we'll put the triple thick on, and we'll also come back to our cowrie shells. Okay, we're gonna put the triple thick on just a gritty part. I think I wanna leave the black part without any type of coating to have more of a natural look. And I'm just putting just a small light layer of triple thick, and then I'm using a brush to spread it out. Okay. All right, once this dries, we can put our hardware on. Okay, we're gonna do the motifs on the cowrie shell, the black cowrie shell. And what I do is I usually just take a folded piece of paper, or you could use cardstock or whatever you have on hand. And I use it as a guide because I want my earrings to be somewhat similar, but not exactly. And I do like this, okay? And then I don't really have a plan of how I'm going to do this. I guess it's wherever my creativity takes me. And I just draw motifs. Like this, okay? And now we move down. Make that a little darker. I move down and I think I want to do lines. And this way here, your earrings will be somewhat similar, but they're not going to be exact, of course. And I find this method to be good. I've tried all kind of ways, but I like this one better. And we're going to do some vertical lines. Just however your imagination takes you. I'm not following any pattern or anything. And so no earrings will be the same. Okay, and moving down a little bit. I think I want to do, let's do some dots on this row. And I looked at different patterns, and there really is no rhyme or reason how to do these little motifs. And, you know, just wherever your imagination takes you. Okay? I'm going to finish this up and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we're ready for the hardware and we're going to do the lady first. Okay? And I decided to use the antique bronze because it looks better with the color that I chose. And, you know, basically I'm a traditional ring. And, oh, yeah, when you're doing the grit, make sure you use some type of pointy object like this to make sure you don't cover that hole because, oh, that'll be a problem. So I just use these sticks and I just do that while it's wet. Of course, you have to do that while it's wet. And I believe I forgot to mention that. Okay. All right, so this is the first one. And I'm only going to do one on camera because I want to show you the other one. It takes a little longer to do. And we'll get this closed up. Okay. That looks pretty good. Sure this will do well at my vendor fair. And I'll get that other one done as well. Very nice. Okay, I decided to add beads to this one. I did do one, and I'll just put it on for now. And I'll show you how I did that right quick for those beginners that don't know how to attach beads to a finished earring. And I'm using thicker earring rounds. I don't know what you call them, but earring hardware. Because the wood is pretty thick. I use 6mm wood for this project. Okay. And I'll just put it on this one, but I'll show you right quick how I did that for the beginners. Okay, that looks pretty good as well. And I'm going to turn my earring. When I first learned how to do earrings, I couldn't figure out why my earrings were twisted. And that simple little thing made my earrings straight. So if you're a beginner, that's what you do, okay? Okay, right quick. I just, you know, I don't do anything fancy. I just make the bend and bring the wire around, straighten it up, and just go around a couple times. Like that. And then I take my first bead, string it through. And I have a spacer bead because it had the same colors. And then I use it's a black bead. Can't find this hole sometime. Okay, once you got your beads the way you want them, then I just take my pliers and I make a bend. You know, very close to the bead as possible. And bring it around. And twist it, straighten it up, and just wrap it maybe 2, maybe 3 times to make sure it's on there real good. Okay? Okay, and of course you're gonna snip the excess, and I didn't have those handy. So we'll snip the excess off. Okay? And that's how you do that. Real simple, real fast. And this is just the way I do it. I mean, there may be other methods, but this works for me. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put the beads, attach these to the earrings. Okay. Okay, so here's the finished product after I put the hardware on. And you can see how nice that look and the little glitter, from the Distress Paste, grit paste that I use, and I'll put a link in the description. And this is how the cowrie shells turned out. And also you're going to do the back as well. I didn't show that in the video for time's sake. These are some of the other ones I had done. I actually used the cowrie shell for this. Looking nice. And I used a new paint that I got for this one. It is parchment. It's a multi-surface folk art parchment. I like that. And it gives a natural color, the same color as the cowrie shells. And this is another one I did with the brown tone. Okay. Okay, this will conclude my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you like this video, please like and consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm getting there. But I would appreciate it if you do subscribe, because I do post content 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next video.